June 2nd, Mortal Kombat X's release. Let's see here if my pre-order went. Let's see here. GameStop. Recommended for you. Mortal Kombat X on PS3. What? What? It said June 2nd. Yeah. It
Fatality!
Hey guys, it's me 50 and welcome to a brand new 50's Thoughts, the show where I talk about one topic every week on Friday that has to do with something that matters to me. In case you haven't noticed, the show is taking a new format, so please be gentle with it. We're just trying it out, seeing how we like it. And also too, I don't know how I survived that opening sequence, to be quite honest. There's three things that I can list it as, which is magic, Lazarus Pit, or some strange plot hole. I'm not sure yet. You guys can decide which one it is in the comments down below. But today we will be talking about Mortal Kombat X and how it may not come to PS3 users ever. Yeah, that one's gonna sting a little bit for me. So, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button, you know, the one that looks like a thumbs up. And also, if you dislike the video, it's that same button. Don't question it, just click it. Also, if you like the video, make sure that you add it to your favorites. I really appreciate it when you do that. And also make sure you share the video, that way we can get the news around that it may not come to PS3 ever. So, if you do have that $60 on the game, that way you can try to put it down for something else or save it up for a PS4. Also, if you want to be a part of the conversation, make sure that you list it down in the comments below on what you have to say, and I am always interested in what you guys have to say. Yeah, that was a little creepy. But anyways, let's just start the episode and jump right into it. Alright, before I start with anything else, let me address the people that are in the comments right now who left a comment within the first minute of the video. Those comments may go something like this. Why didn't you buy it for PlayStation 4 or PC? Well, audience member that I am totally not judging right now, since you probably haven't seen any of my other videos, I will say this. I will start with PC, and then I will move to PS4. These are my reasons why I didn't buy it for that. Number one, for PC, is it wasn't really optimized for it. If you kind of saw the launch of the Mortal Kombat X PC release, it was bad.
But as you can see, the game does not look so amazing, you guys. The game looks pretty bad right now. What the F is this? Seriously, what the F is this, you guys?
Bad, 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 bad. Not as bad as this.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
But it was bad. And I get it, they patched it, and, you know, it probably plays smoother now. But it still tells me that it really wasn't made for PC. And even when you think Mortal Kombat, you don't really think PC. You think maybe the arcade or maybe a console. Because that's what the games have pretty much been on ever since they came out. They really weren't a PC game. And of course, I may have people correct me in the comments, but I will acknowledge you if you do, and if you are right, then I'm sorry. But it's just, whenever someone like me, who really isn't a Mortal Kombat player, and wants to get into it, that's where they think, oh, this is where it's coming out. It's on consoles, and maybe arcades. People don't really have arcades anymore, so my guess is it comes out on consoles. Yes? Good. Good. Alright. The second reason why I didn't buy it on PC is because of the modding community. Now, with games like Fallout or Skyrim, the modding community makes the game completely different. You know? And those are ones that you can play on PS3 or Xbox 360, and they still play great. You know, unlike something like Sims or Gary's Mod or, you know, Fistful of Frags or GoldenEye Source. Battlefield's kind of the exception here, where they were made for PC, but they really wouldn't work on consoles. Like I said, Battlefield's the exception. Now, I get it. You know, modding community would be something that would be cool with Mortal Kombat, but I don't really see it working too well. From what I've seen so far, it's just they've taken the NPCs from the story mode and just kind of renamed them and, you know, used the abilities that they had in the game's code. Still cool, but not a major selling point. Some of those characters I could care less about. I could really care less about. And one of them is even a DLC character that already came out. The one that I'm talking about is Tanya, in case you don't know your information. So, when it comes to that, it's kind of like, there's not really a point in getting it for PC because its modding community isn't that great. If they had, you know, new backgrounds, or if they added more new characters, like maybe some of the Injustice characters would be kind of cool, then yes, I would probably pick it up for PC and, you know, mod it up. But then again, I still wouldn't pay $60 for it, you know, unless if it was my last option. PS4 and PC are my last options. But with that being said, you know, I would have to upgrade my PC since right now I mainly use it for editing videos and not really for gaming. There's only a couple games that I play on PC and everything else is on PS3. Now, I know you may be thinking, well, why don't you just upgrade it? Well, that's $200 and buying a PlayStation 4 is $500. Give or take a couple whatever dollars. You can fill in my blank there. But I gotta say, I don't really have that kind of money to spend. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not a rich duck that has a vault full of gold coins. So, yeah, I'm not Scrooge McDuck. I don't have that kind of money to pay for something like that. So I'd rather get it for what I do have it for, which is PS3. PS3 is the thing that I get most of my games for, because it works. It's what I have. Again, I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but I digress. Let's talk about why I wouldn't get it for PlayStation 4. I already mentioned the price of a PlayStation 4. It's pretty high up there. But if the console has some pretty good games out, then I would consider buying it. Let's take a look at some of the games that I would purchase that are, you know, on PS4 but not on PS3, that I am really interested in. There is 3 that come to mind. Mortal Kombat X, if it's turned into a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC exclusive. Arkham Knight, which will not be on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. And Fallout 4, which will not be on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. So let's kind of take a look at these 3 games, and let's maybe see if we can dull this list down a little bit. This guy right here is Fallout 4. Knowing the previous Fallout games, they will have a good modding community, so it's better to buy this one on PC. And knowing this one, it could have a PS3 port, as well as Xbox 360, if they get it done in time. And by in time, I mean by the end of this year. That means 1 game left. Take that, PS4 users. Now, I understand that is very childish, and I'm sorry, but it's true. I am not gonna buy a console for only one game. It's stupid to do that. And I'm not gonna purchase games that I already have for PS3 on the PlayStation 4 unless the gameplay is entirely different. It doesn't make sense to waste $500 on something like that. It's stupid. And I'm sorry if you are one of those people that bought a PlayStation 4 at the beginning of its life cycle, but I really don't think that you made a smart decision. You could have saved your money and waited until the price was lowered. Now, I get it, there's hype that goes around with new systems and things like that, but honestly, I do not see the point in it. Especially if there's only one game. Now sure, PlayStation Plus gives us a couple games every month, and I think Xbox doing the same thing. And I get it, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're pretty bad. This month we got 2 pretty cool games that, I would have downloaded, which is Call of Juarez for PS3, which I did download, and The Phantom Pain, which I would have downloaded if I had a PlayStation 4. Mainly because I'm not that interested in the game, but I would like to play it and kind of see where Metal Gear is going. I've never been a big Metal Gear fan, but I have played a couple and I would like to see what the new iteration looks like. More or less a demo than actually playing the game. And with that being said, Arkham Knight's the only one that I'm hyped for. And that's the only reason why I would buy a PlayStation 4. Now, granted, if it's the last resort, like I said, with the PC, I would get Mortal Kombat X. And yes, I would buy it on PS4 before I buy it on PC. But with that being said, I really, really think that it's not worth it to buy a PlayStation 4 just for 1, 2, or 3 games. There are many games that I had for PS3. And when I got one, there was a library of games that I was like, yes, I want to get this. Because I did the same thing with PS2 that I'm doing with PlayStation 3 now. I waited until it was at the dead end of its life cycle before I upgraded. I still have a lot of my PS2 games, and I still play them from time to time. That's why I never give them up, or my console. Because they are still fun and they're still enjoyable. And it's the same reason why I'm not going to sell a PS3 or any of my PlayStation 3 games. Unless if it's a total stinker of a game. Which, yes, I do actually have a shelf of shame for those games. Which, if, I ever have a rummage sale, I will take that whole shelf and I will put it out for the kids to think, oh, this game looks interesting. And then have them totally annihilated by hopes and dreams that they had for that game. Just like they did to me. Okay, we got creepy again. Sorry. But it's true. I really like the life cycles of these consoles, and I'm a big fan of these consoles. I was a huge fan of PlayStation 2, and I was a huge fan of PlayStation 3. And when I got those consoles, there were a good amount of games out for me to kind of mix and choose and see what I want to play. PlayStation 4, on the other hand, does not. And therefore, I'd like to wait until some of these bigger games come out. Which will be next year. I don't want to really wait for next year to play a game that's out of its life cycle. I really want to play Mortal Kombat X with this life cycle because everyone else has. And it's kind of sad that we've waited this long already for it. It's kind of turning into the Skyrim thing. When will PlayStation 3 users ever get their DLC? I don't know. Apparently you hate us. And I think this is a good transition to talk about why this is kind of a disservice to PlayStation 3 users and why I really want it for PlayStation 3. You kind of know why I don't want it for PlayStation 4. So let's just jump right into PlayStation 3. Alright, so Mortal Kombat X and PS3 have not had a good relationship so far. They were supposed to come out with it along with all the other consoles, and this does include Xbox 360, but my main concern is PlayStation 3. They were supposed to come out all at the same time at April, and then we had a delay which pushed it back to June 2nd. which was supposed to be the release date for it before I got this information. And yeah, now it's looking like it's going to come out in fall, which fall may be too late. I gotta tell you that. 5 months, 6 months from now, it's bad. I don't think the PS3 users that were interested in it, unless if they were diehard Mortal Kombat fans, would be interested in it still. I think it would be the last game of the PlayStation 3 life cycle, and I feel like, sure, maybe you've tried to fix some of the stuff that you did with the PC port, since, may I remind you, it's not NetherRealm Studios that is doing this for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It is High Voltage Studios that is doing this. But, if you do get it out there, I gotta congratulate you for sticking with it. I don't think many people would stick with it, and there's rumors that you won't stick with it. So if you do, congratulations, and I will be playing you on PS3. But with kind of everything that's going on, I'm wondering if it will ever come out for PS3. And if you're having second thoughts, High Voltage Studios, I have a friend that would like to talk to you real quick. So hold on, let me go grab him. Shia, we're ready for your cameo thing.
Red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. Red, green, blue.
Alright, do your thing.
Hi. Thank you for waiting. We've been running a little bit behind today.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Right. As you know, we've taken a few readings, and these get sent away. We have a look at them. We meet, a group of us, many years of experience. We have a look and we see what we can see. Does that make sense?
Wake up and work hard at it! Nothing is impossible! You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there! No! What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
If you just have a look here, really.
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
Okay, thank you. You can go home now or do whatever it is Shia Labeouf does. Yeah, I was going to say something about Transformers, but you're not really in those films anymore, so... Yeah... That's awkward. But I do think that Shia LaBeouf has a good thing here. Just do it. There is clearly a market for this, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. Just do it. Put it out there. Do what you can to make this a good port. And I understand, it seems like you guys have done some work on it already. And I really don't want you guys to just do all that work for nothing. Just so it can be scrapped at the end of the year and go, well, just work on the PC version, I guess. Just try your best and get it out there to people like us. I know the audience will be small by the time that it does get out, but at least people who are diehard fans of the game will finally get it on the console that they prefer. And maybe some people like me will pick it up. Now, if you're going to pull the $60 price range on us, then I think your game is totally dead, no one's going to buy it. But if you at least give us something for it, maybe all the DLCs up until the point of the game's release, is free for us, or, maybe you cut back the price of the game from maybe $60 to maybe $30, I'd be fine with that. You know, whatever it takes to get it out there and to satisfy your audience, I think is what you should be doing. You know, I don't think you should scrap it just because corporate tells you to scrap it. I think that you should really just try to get it out there to people who want to play it. And I think that is the biggest thing. You know, sure, there are PS4 fans, there are Xbox One fans, there are PC fans, but there are still PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 fans out there who really want this game on their console. And sure, they will upgrade eventually, and maybe they'll buy the game for the new console, but it would be nice to have for the people who have stayed dedicated to PS3 for this whole time. You know, who stayed until the end of its life cycle. And maybe this is the game that, you know, they get it so well, and get it so well-rounded, so perfect, that it's a good game to end the PlayStation 3 life cycle on. But I don't think we'll really ever know until we, you know, get it. You know, I do think that from what I've seen of Mortal Kombat X on, you know, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, it looks amazing. It's a fun game. You know, it's everything that Injustice fans would want and everything that Mortal Kombat fans would want. So I think, yeah, there's a market for it. It's just, I think that they need to put this out for PS3 and Xbox 360. That way they can maximize the audience and give the people what they want. You know, make it so they don't regret, you know, saving up $60 and putting it down on some other game, or, you know, thinking that it's total bullshit that they have to buy a new console if they want to play that game. Just, I understand, it's a time thing. But, you know, 80% done is better than 100% sometimes. Especially with the game being on the last year of the life cycle for PlayStation 3. As long as you don't give us what Web of Shadows did for PS2, I think you should be fine. Sure, you may have to cut down some variations down to maybe some of the best variations. I would be sad about that, but I wouldn't mind it. You know, I was an Injustice fan. I was fine with having one combat style. I was fine with, you know, not having all these gruesome fatalities. And if you have to cut back on some of that stuff, I totally understand. I totally understand if we don't get the crypt. I totally understand if, you know, multiplayer is not what it is on PlayStation 4. Things like Call of Duty, I've been doing that for a while now. There hasn't been a ground war in Call of Duty since maybe Black Ops 2. And that was a fun feature to have, but it's not going to kill the game for not having it. You know, I still think that you can do a good game, and I still think that there is hope. And as much as it saddens me to say what I was saying, I really do think that there is a chance. It may or may not ever come to PlayStation 3, but there's still a chance. And I'm going to hold out until we get that final release. And once I get that game in my hands, I am going to be so happy. And I am going to stream it for you guys. I am going to record videos on it, even though it may not be relevant anymore. So what do you guys think? Is it too late for Mortal Kombat to be released on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360? Should have been released on it at all? You know, do you agree with me thinking that PlayStation 4 is kind of bullshit right now? And that we probably should wait until there's a bigger library of amazing games to get on it? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I really want to know what you guys think. And let me know what you guys think about this new format. Again, just trying things out, trying to be a little comedic, trying to be a little bit more interactive between you and me, and trying to make things a little bit more personal. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, like if you liked it, it's the same button if you disliked it. Add it to your favorites, comment in the comment section down below, and share the video. That way we can keep the conversation going. My name, of course, has been 5150 Nighthawk02, and this has been 50's Thoughts, the show where I talk about my thoughts and opinions on a topic every Friday. See you guys next week. I think next week's episode will be a Batman news overhaul. It will be in the old format, just because that's what I have it stored up on. And yeah, I think that's about it. So, stay frosty.